What's up everyone, it's Josh from the Architecture Student blog and welcome back to another day in the life of an architect vlog. Should hopefully have some quite interesting meetings today. I'm going out to one of our large scale residential extension projects just to go and assess some of the existing structure with a structural engineer, and we've also got a meeting planned over at Spectrum Architectural Glazing. They specialise in large-scale bifold sliding doors. I thought it'd be interesting just to show you around some of the products that they've got and just see some of these amazing spans of glass in situ. They're actually the company that I was working on in the project that you saw in my previous vlog, where you've got the 9 metre span of glazing. I just want to say I've got no affiliation or connection with Spectrum Architectural Glazing. They're just a really friendly local company and I thought it'd be interesting to include them within the video. So time to drink my coffee, take Finn for a walk and then get ready for the day. So I'm now heading off to one of our large-scale residential extension projects. Just going out there to assess the existing structure. There's a 2-story extension going on, so we just need to check what's going on with the floor construction, just check some of the supporting walls and what have you. We did have a bit of a look during the original survey, but at the time they were still completing the purchase of the house. That's now been completed, so we can sort of go in there with free rein and have a real look at what's going on. Structural engineer is going to meet me out there as well, so obviously I can just talk him through the project, brief him on what's required, and then that's another set of technical drawings that's going to be added to my list of things to get sorted. Right, I'll see you at the house. As you can see, it's an incredibly grand property that just needs showing some love and modernising. Some fantastic views at the back, as you can see here. Quite a lot of these single story extensions that have been added on at a later date are going to be replaced and removed for new, creating some fantastic balcony spaces with some Juliet balconies going in onto the bedrooms to maximise the outlook onto that fantastic view to the rear of the property. And I mean, look at that for a front elevation. Once we've got some extensions onto that, it's going to look absolutely stunning. Time to go inside. Starting in the kitchen. This central wall here is going to be removed to create a large open plan kitchen dining area. We're also looking to extend across the rear of the property with quite a large amount of glass to try and maximise the wonderful views that you can see just here. This conservatory is actually going to be demolished. Moving upstairs, as you can see, the property is dated. The current owners of the property have lived in the house for quite some time. It just really needs modernising and bringing up to current standards, and as you can see, this is what the client fell in love with. Had a really good meeting with the structural engineer. I think we've managed to bottom out all the details that are left now on that one. Really exciting project. I've actually forgotten just how nice that house is, having gone back, and how amazing it's going to be once it's been completely renovated. Some major work going on at that property. But anyway, as you know, it's now time to get home, go and have some lunch and go and walk Finn. So I'll see you later. It's a cold one today, proper Monday feeling. Haven't really shown much in the office today because to be quite honest, I've just been sorting some admin as I normally do on a Monday morning, lots of emails, sorting various different bits going backwards and forwards. Really looking forward to going to see Spectrum this afternoon though, go and look at the sliding door specialist. That should be a really interesting visit and get into grips with the systems that they've got and how we can add some really nice features to some of our properties. So I thought I'd talk you through what the meeting was about this morning on the residential extension project. Because it's a large scale project, the meeting was with the structural engineer just to go back to the property, assess what walls are load bearing, which way the floors are spanning. When you're extending and renovating a project as big as that and doing quite a lot of work to it, you do need to make sure that you're doing it in the most efficient and also cost efficient way for the client. I think it's something I didn't quite appreciate when I first started in practice, is that if you can develop not an expansive base, but some form of a base knowledge of structural engineer, the way structures work, even if it's just by asking questions of structural engineers that you're asked to work with in practice, which is how I've developed my knowledge. You can actually create a design that is very easy to produce when it comes to the technical design. If you're thinking ahead of how the structures are going to come together and how it's all going to work out, it's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier later down the line. I think sometimes as architects you see these beautiful designs and you get them into planning and you don't really need to think about too much about the structure of it, and then when it comes to getting the technical design to work, unfortunately that design doesn't quite look as great as it used to, because you've got steel beams that need to be taken into account, floor constructions, floor spans. You can only span so far without needing steel frames, and if you do need a steel frame, that's an extra cost that your client might not be willing to pay for. So I'd always advise any architecture student, when you are in practice, if you've got structural engineers that work either in the offices that you're at or as sort of sub-consultants that are being appointed alongside you, always just try and pick their brains, ask questions. I think that's one of the major things, is just soak up as much as you can and actually ask questions. Nobody's going to have a go at you for asking a question. They might not have the time to answer it for you, but most of the time they will. It's going to help them in the long term, because you might potentially won't make a mistake that you would have if you didn't ask the question. And it shows interest. You build a rapport, and eventually, you know, these sub-consultants might be people that you use on a regular basis, and you can just keep building that knowledge base until eventually you get to a point where you almost know what the structural elements are going to be doing. You just use that sub-consultant as a bit of a back and forth to make sure that everything's all in order, and for them to do the beam sizes and calculations. But yeah, that's one thing really to consider, is actually just ask questions and don't be afraid. All done for my lunch now. It's time to get back to the office and then head over to Newport to go and see Spectrum Architectural Glazing at their new showroom. Really looking forward to going out there, going and seeing some of the products that they've got on offer. They've helped me with a couple of projects recently. They're local to the office, so it's going to be great to go out there, just get a little bit more technical detail about the products they've got. Also see how far we can push things with the glazing. I know I've been speaking to Neil from Spectrum, and he's been talking about kind of 3.5 metre bifold doors. Height, that is, not length. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of those in situ and how we might be able to bring those into some of our projects. And yeah, that will probably be the end of the day, so I'll see you in the showroom. Myself set up ready to record another YouTube video. Slightly different this time, not quite as much me in front of the camera. An absolute necessity whilst I'm preparing my YouTube videos. Asheville Weekly, so funny. Also in the construction trade, so you get to see live works on site. Really recommend it if you guys haven't watched it already. But yeah, it's time to get some work done. That's it. Another video YouTube recorded. Another YouTube video recorded. Another day over. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you'd like to see anything more. I know I really haven't shown too much in the office on today's video, but if that's something you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments below. As always, like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss another video, and I'll see you next week.